my point of view and my position is that these four men came into my home and they handcuffed me in my underwear and they brutally sexually assaulted me and were beating me in the back of the head with their flashlights until I was unconscious. I begged for medical attention when I came to, and they refused to take me to the hospital. They have been through me in an ice cold cell in my underwear, beaten and raped. Now, I understand the legal definition of rape is something very different, but they used their knees on my backside, and the concussive force of the blows have destroyed my inside. And I have serious, serious problems with my head now from the beating. I have really bad, severe PTSD. Now, I want you to understand what if that happened to you? What if that happened to your son or your daughter or your husband or your wife? And these people drive by my house every day. They would just continually drive by and taunt me. What if your rapist, the person that raped your wife or your daughter, just kept taunting you and there was nothing you could do about it? Kept driving by you and making sure that you saw them. It's so insidious. It's so sinister. And then for them to, under oath and testimony, admit exactly what they did, knowing that they can walk free from it, knowing that because they wear a uniform and a badge, that they can continue to get away with it and use the law and use the cover of so many other guilty people, that they throw an innocent person in there that you can't, their voice is drowned out. What they did to me is real, and what they did to my head is real. And I have no recourse. It seems like everyone just throws their hands up and says, well, if you were black, if you were Asian, if you were Mexican, this would be easier to go in front of the media. We're talking about an aggravated sexual assault and an attempted murder by 4 police officers. And if they weren't police officers, those words that they spoke would have put them in prison. And I was trying to make that point, that I have the right to defend myself physically against these monsters that keep driving by my house. Every day I see the Scott Township Police drive by my house, and they make sure that I know that I see them. So I just ask you again, if you were brutalized and sexually assaulted and tortured and they tried to kill you and the perpetrators kept driving by your house, what would you do? How would you feel? Where would you turn to? You would turn to the district attorney. You would turn to the FBI. You would turn and because they're police, no one will touch them. They won't investigate. You don't even have to believe a word I said. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying at all. All you have to do is read that transcript. Read the transcript of James Stoker admitting everything that I'm telling you. And they laugh. And they said, we'll just do it again. And they did. Try to frame me for saying that I was planting bombs around the city, that I was making concussive bombs to commit mass murder. That's an act of terrorism. They're so emboldened, and they think that they can get away with anything, but he literally made something up out of thin air, thinking that he can just push it through the court. life and raped, and the perpetrators kept coming to your house to intimidate you, what would you do? Because that's what gangs do. That's what the gangs on the streets of LA do, in Chicago, in Detroit. That's what the gangs in New York do. They intimidate on their territory. And yet he'll point the finger at me and put me in a box and torture me over some petty fucking words. When all I'm trying to do is get your attention to the massive amount of felonies these law enforcement officers, supposed law enforcement officers, committed. Major felonies. Aggravated assault, aggravated perjury, aggravated deviant sexual assault, and attempted murder. And that's just a start. Tell me why nobody gives a fuck about that. But you care so much about my words, right? But you don't care anything about their actions. And for the fourth time, I will ask you, if you were raped and beaten and tortured, and the perpetrators kept coming to your home,